to today's vlog. Today we're at Chessington World of Adventure.
She likes oversharing with outfits and swearing, admiring her tats while she plays with all her cats. Her disability gives her superpower, agility to holiday and live the right way. Estelosaurus.
Jumanji, unnecessarily loud. It's really fun here. It's a really cool and immersive space, but there's not enough seating. There's hardly any seating. Some of the paths aren't that wide, and it's quite difficult to get your wheelchair in some of the spaces around here, which I don't think is that good. But yeah, it's a fun land. I think because it's new, it's busy, but yeah, I think the paths could do with being a lot wider. It could be a little bit more wheelchair friendly, and I wish there was more seating, and I wish it wasn't so loud. So Neil's gone on Mandrill Mayhem, which is the newest ride here at Chessington, and it will be his 50th roller coaster. So when he gets off, we will find out what he thought of it. So Neil's now ridden Mandrill Mayhem twice, once on the back row, once going the right way. The wrong way, the right way? I don't know.
The right way.
Goes both ways. Neil, what did you think of Mandrill Mayhem?
Oh, Mandrill Mayhem?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it was better than I thought it was going to be. It was a bit more forceful, and the row 7, the back was really good. But my other ride was on row 6, and the little backwards drop at the start was quite fun. Good coaster, good family coaster.
Quick look around the merch shop. Merch is pretty standard theme park stuff, priced reasonably well, good selection of magnets, which I like. I still firmly believe that they should only have the soft toy for the animal that they have here.
Yeah. They got sloths in one.
And pandas. And yellow monkeys. And rhinos. Everyone that has said these are cool is a liar. Because they're horrible. And I've seen the original film, why would you want to play it? Neil has gone on crop top now. It's a lot busier here than I thought it would be. There seems to be about 10,000 children here. I'm not really sure why. I didn't think it would be this busy today, but it's fine. It's not too long a wait on anything. The longest wait so far was 45 minutes on Dragon's Fury, but I guess that's right near the entrance, so it's the one everyone goes on first. So, Neil, how was Crop Drop?
Crop Drop was wonderful.
Top 10?
No. It's well themed, but it's not very big.
I don't know what this thing is, but I really want to hug it. I'm gonna document that fact because that is a good fact. Excellent fact. And I really like popcorn.
Fully seated until your back and base, where a member of our expedition team will tell you when to safely.
So we've just done Zufari. We queued for 30 minutes to get on it, and I think if we hadn't have queued for 30 minutes, it would have felt more worth it. It wasn't a great ride. It's not something I even knew was here. I've never really heard anyone talk about it, but it was alright. We saw some rhinos, the giraffes were really cool, but it certainly ended kind of randomly, like when you were stuck in a cave or something, but you couldn't really hear the audio, so you weren't really sure what was going on anyway. But yeah, it was okay. And I think if you can queue for it for less than sort of 15 minutes, it's probably worth it. But if you have to queue any longer than that, I wouldn't bother doing Safari. I've just found some dip-dips, so I've just sent a dip-dip picture to Rachel. You're welcome. Neil's just gone on Rattlesnake. It's been closed all day. It's only just opened at sort of like 3-4 o'clock. No idea why it's been closed, but it's open now. So he's taken the opportunity to get on it in case it's closed again tomorrow. It was about a 15-minute wait. It looks, I think, don't quote me on it, but it looks like a wild mouse. So I will ask him how he found it when he gets off. So how long did you queue for a rattlesnake?
Far too long.
Was it worth it?
No, it was like 40 minutes.
Top 10?
No. It's barely top 100. I haven't done 100 coasters.
Is it a wild mouse?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's that type of thing.
Okay.
I don't know enough about coasters.
You didn't enjoy it?
No.
Okay. Gonna do it again?
No.
It's got an hour queue on it now.
Seriously. It's been closed all day though. It's good that they opened it at all.
Yeah. So we've checked into our hotel room now. There will be a room tour and sort of I'll show you some of the resort and what we have for dinner as well. Neil is currently amending his top 10 list to pop Rattlesnake in at number 1.
Maybe not.
But yeah, it's been a nice day. It was a lot busier than I thought it would be. There was like 1,000 school children milling around, and while I was waiting for Neil, I watched one kid puke all over the floor and another kid wee all over the floor, so that was nice. But Neil's done a couple of roller coasters. He did Mandrill, Mayhem, Rattlesnake and Dragon's Fury. Which was your favourite? Mandrill Mayhem is his favourite, and he did that twice. He is going to see if he can get on it again tomorrow because we've got early entry as part of our resort stay. We did the Zufari. Was it called Zufari?
It was.
Which I didn't know was here. I've never heard anyone talk about Zufari. But like I said earlier, if you can queue for sort of less than 10-15 minutes, it's okay. If you have to queue for any longer than that, it's absolutely not worth the queue in time, I would say. Especially the end. The end was very odd. You sort of ended in a dark, I think what was supposed to be a cave, and it didn't make any sense. And you couldn't really hear the audio either, so you weren't really sure at any point what was going on. But the rhinos were very cool and the giraffes were very cool. So yeah, if you can queue for it for a short amount of time, it is probably worth the ride. The zoo bit with all the animals is very good. I really enjoyed that. They've got some really, really cool animals here that I've not seen in other zoos. So that's a lot of fun. So if you're here and you've got the time, it is absolutely worth checking out the like animal parts, especially like the sort of savannah Africa inspired place. There's some really good stuff there, and there's like a viewing platform you can go up to, which as part of our hotel stay is open in the evening, so hotel guests can go to the viewing platform to see like the giraffes and zebras and stuff, which I think is really cool as well. So I think we're going to check that out later. We tried the much talked about turkey leg from the World of Jumanji area. It was alright. It was a giant turkey leg. It was very dry. It was weirdly very peppery and it was very smoky, but it was alright. It is absolutely, I was saying it's absolutely not worth 14 quid, but I think we did pay more than that for the one in Disney, so, though I think the one in Disney's bigger.
The one in Disney was nicer.
Yeah, the one in Disney was nicer. But it's also £14 for a hot dog. £14 for this bullshit hot dog is, you're being mugged off with a hot dog there. But 14 quid for that crappy looking hot dog, not worth it at all. But the World of Jumanji area is really good. It is really freaking loud. Like, unnecessarily loud. Why is it so loud? I don't know if everyone in Jumanji is deaf. I don't know. But I kind of don't understand the area. As a member of the Spice Girls generation, I grew up with the original film, and all the references in the new area are for the new films. But I can't work out personally whether it's based on the film or whether it's based on the game, the computer game that the film is based on. I don't really know, because in sort of the opening day vlogs and stuff, and I assume at weekends, they have roaming actors that are like their NPCs, which is fun, and they don't have that during the week. I get it, it's not busy enough to warrant it, but I don't understand whether it's based on the films or based on the game in the film. I don't know. But the merch is pretty crappy. The bag is cool, fine. I just didn't think it was that good. And we found some of the regular Chessington merch, and like the jumper was 45 quid. And I think, considering you can pay 45 quid for a jumper at Disney, I think 45 quid for a jumper at Chessington World of Adventures is pretty pricey. I don't think the jumpers were that expensive at Alton Towers. I don't think my Alton Towers jumper cost 45 quid.
It was a different range, and that was like the premium one.
The t-shirts were 25, which is probably about right for a t-shirt, I guess, at a theme park, and is probably what I have paid at theme parks previously. I know, I just felt like 45 quid was a lot of money for a jumper. Anyway, we are back in the park again tomorrow. We've got early entry from 8:45.
Some of the coasters open at 9.
Yeah, so that would be good if Neil can get on some of the rides at 9. We are leaving Chessington tomorrow at some point to drive down to where Poulton's Park is, because we're at Poulton's tomorrow. But we've got basically until the park closes tomorrow night to do everything again if we wanted. And we've got a couple of things that we didn't do today that Neil's going to do tomorrow. There's a couple of rides he wants to go on, and we're going to go back to where the animals were, because some of the animals were not out. I really want to see the raccoons again, and whatever that weird monkey bear cat thing was. That was very cool.
Can't remember what it's called.
So there's a couple of bits we're going to check out tomorrow as well. And yeah, that's it for today. It looks like he keeps glancing over to see if we're still here. But like pretending not to look. He's pretending not to be interested, but he keeps having a look. Oh no. Oh, hello. Oh. Is he going to the toilet again? is an absolute delight. If you stay in the Chessington hotels and you use your early entry, I really recommend that you use it to go and look at the Trail of the Kings, because you get to see the lions and it's amazing. We heard the male lion roar and it was fantastic. The lions came really close up to the glass. I had my photo taken. It was just fantastic. So yeah, don't bother with the ride, just go and do Trail of the Kings. It is now on Cobra. The park has just opened, so all the other rides have opened. So he is on Cobra now, and I think he's on his own, so let's find out. Oh, there are other people on it. He looks thrilled. He looks like he's really enjoying the ride. Had a couple of goes on, he hasn't, he's been on Dragon's Fury again, he's been on Mandel Mayhem, and now he's on Cobra. He's got a couple of other rides left to do, but yeah, early entry is fantastic. So if you're staying in the hotel, it's absolutely worth it to get the early entry, and like I said, go and see Trail of the Kings, because you get to see the cats up and about and roaring, and it is amazing, really good. So I've got a cup of tea now. We're going to explore the rest of the park. Well, we've already explored it, but we can have a bit of a look around. So Neil has just been on Cobra. I was really excited because I thought it was just going to be you on it on your own.
No, there was 2 people, there were 4 people in here. So.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was cool, it was fun.
Yeah?
It's fun.
Is it a roller coaster?
No, that's not a coaster.
Okay. Was it good?
It was alright.
You go on it again? Was it scary?
No, we won't be going on it again.
Okay. So Neil's been on Vampire, he is now on Tomb Blaster. It's a really nice day. It's not as busy today, there's again lots of groups of school kids, but it's not as busy as it was yesterday. Very low wait times on everything, which is really good. And the sun's sort of out, so yeah, it's a nice second day here at Chessington. Oh, balls on him, mate. It's like looking at Taco. So we are done with Chessington World of Adventure. I am very sunburnt. Well, not very sunburnt, I'm quite sunburnt. It was really cloudy for most of the day, so we kind of didn't really think to put a sun cream on, which we absolutely should have done. We're both very stupid. Anyway, Chessington World of Adventures is a really nice family park. It's really clean, it's really tidy. There's plenty of staff like milling around, cleaning up, and yeah, it's a really nice, great family park. If you're like a thrill seeker looking for a thrilling roller coaster, this isn't probably the park for you. But if you're looking for a nice chill day, absolutely go. The zoo animal parks of Chessington are amazing, and I've never really heard anyone talk about them, but the zoo parts are kind of the best bit. I guess if you like roller coasters, that's probably the best bit, but genuinely the animal parts are the best bit. I found an animal today called a binturong, which is the best animal I've ever seen. It's like a cat cross between like a cat and a monkey and a bear and a raccoon, and they're just really fun animals. We watched like its training session and it was just amazing. So yeah, the animals are so good, and like I said earlier, go in the morning if you've got early access because you stayed in the hotel. Go and see the lions in the morning because they are wicked cool in the morning. Oh, we watched like a skunk training session. That was really cool. Skunks are a lot of fun.
And they don't always want to spray. It's not something they want to constantly be doing. Now here at Chessington, our skunks don't really have a problem with spraying. They do have a positive association with our trainers. And these guys here are usually pretty alright. Sometimes they might have a little bit of a family spat, but we all, when we live with our family, sometimes have arguments, so it's all
I really enjoyed the skunk training session. I didn't get to see the raccoons properly, which is a bit of a shame, but overall it's a great park. We've both had a really great couple of days. You probably don't need 2 full days at Chessington. It's sort of, you could do it in one day, I think. But you might, I suspect if it was busy, you'd be a bit rushed to get everything done. Some of the waits got pretty long at some points. Like Neil waited 35 minutes for Vampire and it was billed as a 15-minute wait. Some rides got up to like a 60-minute wait at some point, and they're not rides that are worth 60 minutes. Mandrill Mayhem in World of Jumanji is still on its virtual queue and probably will stay on a virtual queue, but Neil didn't really have any problems like booking the virtual queue, and he had 2 rides on that virtual queue, and then he got a ride because it was open for early hotel access, so he got 3 rides on it in total, and he sort of didn't have to wait very long for any of those rides. But yeah, operations are fine. Some of the roller coasters are sort of quite slow to load, but that's the nature of the ride, I guess, and not sort of the fault of the staff. But yeah, all in all, it's a really great park. The park is very wheelchair accessible. Sort of getting around the park in a wheelchair is fine. It is very, very hilly in places. There are some really steep hills. So if you have sort of walking problems, or if you're in a wheelchair, just bear that in mind, that the hills are pretty extreme, and there are a lot of them. But most places are easy to get around, and there is wheelchair access in most places. Like I said, I think the pathways in the World of Jumanji are a little bit narrow, but at least you can get around everywhere. Most of the rides have disabled access to them, and there's lots of information on the Chessington website about disabled access. There are plenty of toilets around. There are plenty of disabled toilets. All of the disabled toilets do require a radar key though, so if you haven't got one, they are available in some locations at Chessington, but you can't use those disabled toilets without a radar key. I handily forgot my radar key, so I can't tell you what the insides of any of those toilets were like, whether they were clean or not. Generally the toilets were pretty clean. I found one that was a bit manky, and that was the one right next door to Dragon's Fury. That wasn't a very nice toilet. I would avoid that one if you can. But yeah, overall, great park, great disability access. Gluten-free food options in the park itself were not too bad. There are a couple of locations that offered like a gluten-free bun, or had gluten-free options, like the pizza and pasta buffet had gluten-free options, the smokehouse had gluten-free options, and a couple of the kiosks had gluten-free options. So there are a couple of choices out there for you. So that's it now. We're off to our next destination. We're heading across to Paulton's Park tomorrow, so we're heading down to Southampton tonight. But yeah, we've had a great day. We absolutely should have worn sun cream that is a mistake. We won't be waking tomorrow, hopefully. But yeah, all in all, Chessington is a really lovely family park. There's loads and loads and loads of stuff for kids to do. There is stacks there to keep kids entertained all day, which I think is really nice. Highly recommend Chessington. Go and give it a visit. So that is it from this vlog. We've had a fab time. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends, and I will see you soon in another video.